If I go to Laravel documentation, I can go here and front end and blade template. So here is explaining me how this works. So what do I need to do is create a template where this template will be used for all of the views. Yeah. So how we can do this? We need to create a layout folder, and then we can create a template. Like for example, in this case, it's up blade, but you can name it whatever you want. Just keep the same extension, right? So let's do what they said, what they are saying, but instead of using what is they use here, we're gonna use our template, right? So let's create the layout folder first. Yeah, let's go here, and I'm gonna close all this just to make sure we clearly see this. So we go to resources, view, and here I'm gonna create a folder, layout, right? Layouts. Inside of here, I'm gonna create the layout. So if we stick with the documentation, I'm gonna create this name as well. Okay, so let me do that. New file, and I'm gonna paste it. Okay, so here what I want to do, take the design from the page, right? Actually will be now we don't have the style, but we're gonna add the style. But I want to take the header and the footer, because will be the same for all of them, for all the pages, and I will add it to the layout, and I will show you how this works after. Let me just go to the home, right? And now I will go and take the home from here. I will take the header, right? From here to up, I will just Control X and go to up and paste it here, right? And then here will be the content for each of the page, right? And then I will take the footer as well. Let me just take the footer. I'm gonna close this. Let me just close this, because I think I'm gonna need to take this as well. Let me just take this, cut this, and paste it here, right? And let me go here and take the footer, the footer, right? I will take the footer in until here, cut it, Control X, and I'm gonna paste it here. Okay, so now what I have done, I create a layout. This layout will be used for every template, every view in the front end, right? But I need a way to identify this middle part, which will be changing for every view, for every view we have here, right? So if we go to the documentation, what they're saying, we need to use the yield, right, tag. That's why I'm saying we need to create with the extension blade, because this way they recognize this type of tags. So let's take this yield with and let's paste it on this layout, right? Okay, so once it's pasted here, now we have to, let me just go back to documentation, and what they say here, in the view, we need to extend from that layout using these tags. Extend the name of the layout, and then using a section, this is for title, but for example here the sidebar, right? Or here is the content, and we're gonna stick with the simple, but we're gonna use it later on. We're gonna use more complicated ones, but at the moment we're gonna stick with the content. So we need to extend first, extend from that layout. If I copy this, yeah, and go to the project home, I need to extend that layout, yeah, which, how this works, this extends, look in the view folder, right? And here we have the folder layout, which is this one, yeah. yeah, with the file up, right, which is this one here, right, without the extension. So this is like the hierarchy of the files, right, the folders and files. So you can use here even the slash, but you know the syntax is we're using dot, but you can use the slash as well, you know, as you are in the folder hierarchy here. Let me just keep with the dot, right? So this is extending from this layout. We can have more layouts here inside of the folder, which will be called differently, you know. But at the moment we got just we have just this layout, and we're gonna use this one. And inside of a section we're gonna add our content, but we need to identify this section with this parameter, which is here in the yield, which is content in this case. Okay, so if I go to the documentation, I need to copy this section, and I will need to put it here, section, and close the section, right? And I need to do end section, right? But this is very important. This name, this parameter here, content, is very important. So this is identifying the place where this yield will be rendered, right? If I do here, let me save this and show you that this is showing correctly, and then I will change this parameter, and you see this is not gonna work if we don't identify with the same name, right? So if I go here, I'm in home. If I refresh the page, nothing changed because everything it's working properly. Yeah, nothing changed because we have the same, except we have added our template, right? And now if I change this, let's say test. Now this yield, because we have extended from this layout, is searching for the section test, right, internally, and if it's not finding the test, so there's nothing showing, yeah, because our section is called content. If I create another section here, let me just say, we can create multiple sections, right? And let me add something in the middle here, and let's do test here. So now instead of showing this section, we'll show this section because it's identified by this name. Yeah, if I save this and go to the browser, refresh, you see, this is the content I'm showing because it's identified by that name, right? I can show even the content as well if I want. Let me show you that. If I copy paste that one, now you can see we can show both sections. You see we have first section and we have the second section. So this is, so this is like the first section, all right, and this is the second section, right, which is the text one. Okay, so I hope you understand how this works, but anyway, we're gonna practice more and see more how we can use, you know, more tags, because we have more than this one, but at the moment we're gonna stick with this. You see we have parent, we have included, so we have more, so we're gonna use more, and we're gonna use as well the other ones, you know. But at the moment I hope you understand how this section works. Yeah, so let me just delete the test one, stick with the content, and go here. I'm gonna delete this as well. And what do I need to do? Do the same for the other views. Yeah, so we have the layout, we need to extend in each one and add our content inside of a section which will be identified by the content, right? So if I go to about page, you see I have a whole you know HTML template, but I need to go and delete this, right? Delete this and delete this, yeah, the footer, everything. And I need to add our first of all extend and then the section, right? I will copy this, and I'll paste this here and copy this end section as well, paste it here. Okay, and I will do for contact as well, right? So just let me copy this, and I'll go to the header here. Let me just shrink this. I will delete this, paste my extended, and delete the footer as well, and just let me copy end section, right? So now should be able to see in all of them the same. Okay, so now if I go to the browser, if I refresh the page, nothing changed, but if I click to the menu about, you see it's going to about, it's going to a contact, but the header is stick the same, it will stay the same, and the footer as well. Yeah, as you can see, I'm changing. Yeah, so this is how the blade, how the layout in Laravel works. Is very cool, you know, because later on we're gonna see more cool stuff regarding the layout, but at the moment we are able to use one layout for all the pages, right? What we need to do now is add the style, right, to the page. So let's add the style. If you like this video, please give a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to our channel.